May 6th, 2025. May I have a roll call, please?
Yes, present tonight is myself, Chair Chadwick, Ms. Whiteside, Ms. Corbett. Absent is
Mr. Bessie.
Mr. Bessie, and Derek and Mr. Bowen are coming online shortly. And
Thank you. Okay.
blanked.
Pledge of Allegiance. Brandy. Would you lead us? Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Residents' comments. Noah, are there any online? Is there anyone here who wants to address us on something that is not on the agenda?
I see nobody online.
Thank you. Announcements. Mr. Chadwick?
I have none.
Thank you. Ms. Corbett?
I attended the second meeting for the North Water Street project, I guess is the short way of referring to it. It concerns a strip of beach along the edge of North Water Street that is owned by the Wareham Land Trust. It was one of their first donations that they received. It was from the Hammond family. And some of the residents of that area were among the first people to reach out to me when I became a select board member. And so I've been kind of closely following the developments there. Their initial concerns, and I think they're still valid concerns, is parking and traffic there. But as far as repairing the seawall and dealing with the stairs that go from Water Street and Cove Street down to the two beaches that are down there, that's a much larger project that involves the Wareham Land Trust, and through the Wareham Land Trust, they have contracted with a consultant engineering firm for a feasibility study. And they presented in about 30 minutes last night, they presented 3 different alternatives to what could be done to the area, from least amount of money and work to most amount of money and work. And the least amount of money would be simply to repair the seawall that's there, with some, and they would say every option comes with resource area enhancements, like repairing the steps and adding to the natural vegetation that is there. So the first example was seawall repair. The second example of how they might possibly mitigate possible flood damage to the infrastructure that is below North Water Street and then potentially the houses behind it would be a living shoreline, which would be, enhanced wetlands and natural vegetation and things like that to keep the floodwaters at bay. And then the third element choice would be to replace the seawall with the other enhancements as well, just replace it entirely. And then the fourth alternative would be what they called a rock revetment. And what I envisioned and what the slides they showed were basically, if you picture the canal, all of those rocks along the canal, and they could make them so that they aren't as dangerous and scary as the ones along the canal, and people could sit on them. So every possibility carries with it some really wonderful use enhancements, as well as some losses. Potentially a loss of beach, a loss of lawn where people can put their chairs. So there was a lot of people here last night. This room was nearly full. And basically what we heard last night is what the consultants are going to present to the town. The end date is June 30, because it's going to be from here that the town and the land trust and the state are all going to hold hands and decide that they can all live with. And unfortunately, it's going to be years before any of this is done, because it's working with so many different entities. But it was very interesting, and I know a lot of the residents there are very invested in that area. They've been there for a really long time. They had some firmly voiced concerns, let's say, about the loss of a beach when the canal was dredged. And the sand that was dredged from that canal, they said that it was put somewhere else and not back on their beach. So that, I think, would be, that's going to be actually included in the final report by the consultants, and I think that would be something interesting to talk about for the future for the town and maybe the state. They were still concerned about parking and making North Water Street one-way rather than two-way, because it's really, I've driven down there, and it's really shocking with the way the cars are parked, that it's actually a two-way street. And I would hope that sooner rather than later, the town could make it, a quick fix of a one-way street and fix the parking, not the parking, I know that's hard, but maybe fix some of the traffic around there. So it was very interesting. So.
Anything else?
Oh, yes. I'm a liaison for the Council on Aging Board of Directors. And at our last meeting, which was last week, Thursday, Sharon Rice, the director there, said that they are instituting a code of conduct for all of the Council on Aging. They call them the members, the people that use the Council on Aging building. And the way she described it, it's people have to sign it. She wants people to know exactly how they're supposed to behave, because there have been some shocking examples, unfortunately, of really, really bad behavior by some of the folks who use those facilities and services. And she has done this in consultation with Derek to try to do the best she can to make sure that her staff and the many, many volunteers who help out at the luncheons and all the things that Council on Aging does, are treated with respect. And that's the bare minimum that they ask. And so that's going to be something that every single person who walks in the building is going to be asked to read and sign the code of conduct. That's it for me.
Thank you. I have a couple. I actually have more than a couple. On the 18th, the Wareham area for the homeless is having a walk. We have that on the agenda to give them permission to use the roads. This is a group that supports the homeless and the nearly homeless through Turning Point. It's a really, unfortunately, necessary amenity to our town. So I urge those of you who can walk to walk with them. The Garden Club on the 17th is having their spring plant sale, 9 to 12, and I think it's at St. Patrick's, but somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong. May 10th is the National Association of Letter Carriers Stamp Out Hunger program. That's the day you're supposed to put canned goods or, non-perishables in your mailbox for them to pick up. Church of the Good Shepherd has a rummage sale on May 17th from 9 to 1. So you can actually go get your plants and then go to the rummage sale, because they're sort of back to back. The Friends of the Library are having their annual duck race on the 18th. From 11 to 12:45, it's registration, and the race starts at 1. You can enter a duck for $5, or you can get a 6-pack for $25. And I've actually donated some money so that kids could actually have ducks in the race. On the 24th of this month, from 2 to 6 at Bessie Park and Warren's Harborview, the Sip and Stroll presented by Lorna Brunel. There are going to be 125 vendors. I think it's 6 food trucks, and it goes from 2 to 6, and the roads will be blocked off. We've already given that permission. I just shared a picture of the, what do you call them? The mascot.
Yeah.
Okay, the mascot for it. And then,
Does he have a name?
well, yes. I think it's Mr. Shucks.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think it's Mr. Shucks. And then there's a day that comes up in 2 more days, and I think it's very important that we recognize that day, as most of the world or European nations do. The Garden Club is at the Methodist Meeting House, not at St. Patrick's, so Methodist Meeting House. Thank you.
What day is it again?
That's the 17th. That's Saturday, the 17th. Okay?
Sweet, have it off. Thank
May
you.
8th is the 80th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day. And this year also has been the 50th anniversary of the end of the war or conflict in Vietnam. I think it's really important for all of us to understand what kind of dedication and sacrifice was made by many, many men and women, not just from this country. We don't make a big deal about VE Day. There's also VJ Day, which is the day that the Japanese surrendered. Most people in Europe do. Most countries in Europe do. But that's because the war was fought in their backyard or in their front yard. And I think it's very important. So on May 8th, just say thank you to a vet. Thank you. Let's go to, we have a couple of proclamations. I will ask Ms. Corbett to read the one about ALS, please.
This is Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis Awareness Month, whereas amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, known by many as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive fatal neurodegenerative disease in which a person's brain loses connections with the muscles, slowly taking away their ability to walk, talk, eat, and eventually breathe. And, excuse me, whereas every 90 minutes someone is diagnosed with ALS and someone passes away from ALS, and whereas on average patients diagnosed with ALS only survive 2 to 5 years from the time of diagnosis, and whereas ALS has no cure, and whereas people who have served in the military are more likely to develop ALS and die from the disease than those with no history of military service, and whereas securing access to new therapies, durable medical equipment, and communication technologies is of vital importance to people living with ALS, and whereas clinical trials play a pivotal role in evaluating new treatments, enhancing quality of life, and fostering assistive technologies for those living with ALS, and whereas we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Ice Bucket Challenge through a renewed commitment to galvanize public awareness and support funding leading to significant investments in ALS research, and whereas the ALS Association, as the largest philanthropic funder of ALS research globally, has committed over $154 million to support more than 550 projects across the United States and 18 other countries, and whereas our commitment to accelerating the pace of discovery remains unwavering, fueled by the hope that one day ALS will be a livable disease for everyone, everywhere, until we can cure it. Whereas ALS Awareness Month increases the public's awareness of people with ALS's dire circumstances and acknowledges the terrible impacts this disease has, not only on the person but on his or her family and the community, and recognizes the research being done to eradicate this disease. Therefore, we, the Select Board, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 as ALS Awareness Month. I call upon all Americans to join in supporting ALS research, advocating for increased funding, and standing in solidarity with those affected by this relentless disease. So proclaimed the 6th day of May, 2025. Do I read the rest? Select Board, Judith Whiteside, Chair, Jared S. Chadwick, Clerk, Ronald S. Bessie, Sarah Corbett.
Thank you. And we have another proclamation that has to do with the twinning program that was started several months ago. Mr. Chadwick?
Whereas,
Chadwick chose not to read the first one because
there's a lot of big words.
there's a lot of big words in there, and, you know, I have to tease
Do you
him
remember
about that.
the Ice Bucket Challenge? I did that.
So I was just going to say that. I
Yeah.
saw yesterday a video of a junior firefighter renewing it with a tanker truck, and he sat behind it and they pulled the lever and flushed him off the seat. So I'm happy to see the younger generation starting to
Yeah.
bring
that's
that
cool.
back.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you did it?
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
did
It
it
was
too.
really fun.
Oh, cool.
I challenged out all of my cousins that are my age, and so it just went from person to person to person to person, and then it went out. It was really fun.
Okay,
I'll
great.
have to find mine. Mine's a 55-gallon drum on a brick wall that's above my head.
No, I did the classic, stop filming! And I ran off.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
Mr. Chadwick?
Whereas the town of Wareham in the United States shares a common name and a mutual spirit of community and cooperation with the city of Wareham in the United Kingdom. And whereas both communities are rich in history, cultural, and tradition, with Wareham USA being known for its charming New England heritage, and Wareham, England for its picturesque landscape and historical significance. Whereas both communities have agreed to a twinning arrangement between our towns, which allows an opportunity for cultural exchange, strengthening the bonds between our communities. Whereas in support of the twinning partnership between the communities, a delegation of Wareham citizens is traveling to Wareham, England for a visit on May 20th through the 23rd, 2025. Whereas the goal of the delegation visit is to advance the goal of celebrating our shared heritage and building a future of mutual respect and friendship between the town of Wareham and the city of Wareham, as announced in our joint proclamation of October 21, 2024. Now therefore we, the Select Board of Wareham, USA, do hereby celebrate our support residents visit to Wareham, England as an opportunity to engage, cultural exchange, and understand and enhance our shared sense of community. Be it resolved that our residents visit and associate activities will provide are declared an important step in the relationship between our towns. In witness thereof, we have hereunto set our hands and fixed the official seal of our town on the 6th day of May 2025. Signed, the Wareham Select Board.
Thank you. It is now 7:15, so Mr. Chadwick, I'd ask that you read the, to open a public hearing, make that motion.
I move to open the public hearing for 7:15 PM for the application for transfer and pledge of license and collateral of existing 15 annual all-alcohol beverage package store license from AJ Food Corporation, DBA Anchor Liquors, to ANZ Group, Inc., DBA Anchor Liquors, to Muatizan Chaudhry, manager 2360 Cranberry Highway, West Wareham, Mass. 02576.
Is there a second to the motion to open the hearing?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to open the public hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion to open the hearing?
No.
Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, the hearing is open. Mr. Souza and Mr. Chowdhury, would you all step forward, please? And I'm going to ask that you identify yourselves for the record, please.
Certainly. Attorney Thomas Souza for the applicant, ANZ Group, Inc. Introduce yourself.
My name is Mutsum Chaudhry. I'll be the manager of the store.
Thank you.
And
My name is Sohaib Shahid, so I'm the owner for the corporation.
Okay.
you.
Is your name spelled someplace in the record that you submitted to us?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Mr. Souza, go ahead.
Well, again, we're here on an application to transfer the existing all-alcohol license, currently owned by A&J, doing business as Anchor Liquors. The gentleman beside me will be purchasing the business with your approval. Mr. Shahid has many years of experience in operating package stores. He has interests in several throughout the Cape, as well as Mr. Chaudhry.
I've been running the store since 1991, multiple stores, yeah.
Cool, thank you.
They've never had any issues in any of the other towns that they've been with, so we're hoping that you'll vote favorably upon the transfer.
Thank you. Either of you want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay, thank you. Your package of information is complete. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And so if we don't have any questions or comments, then I would ask for a motion to close the hearing.
I move to close the public hearing for 7:15 PM as stated in the agenda.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close the hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion to close the hearing? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, yes, the hearing is closed. I will now accept a motion.
I move to approve the transfer as printed in the agenda.
Second.
You just don't want to read that again. Motion made and
All legal.
seconded to approve the application for transfer and pledge of the license. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Mr. Corbett?
Aye.
Myself, yes. Thank you. The paperwork will be sent by our office to the ABCC, and you will be notified when you can pick the license up.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a nice night.
You too. You as well. Town business, Jared?
Yes. I move to approve the application from the Church of the Good Shepherd in the Greater Wareham Area Churches for Wareham Walks for Homeless event on 5/18/25 from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and request to waive event fees.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve that application. Can you just read the route, which is right here? So that people know.
Which one is it? Yes, here we go. The course will be the same as last year. We will start at the Church of the Good Shepherd and proceed down Sandwich Road, then along Route 28, turning onto Depot Street, then onto Minot Ave, onto Main Street, and then back onto Church of the Good Shepherd.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? No, we have a motion to approve. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye, it is so. Mr. Chadwick?
I move to accept $355 donation to the Council on Aging from an anonymous donor in honor of Susan Brown's birthday.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve or to accept that donation. Is any further discussion on the motion to accept?
No.
Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. You skipped this one, sir.
Did it really?
You did.
Oh, man. I'm paying back all the swaps from all the training I've
Yeah,
done,
okay.
so I've been living at the station. All right. I move to accept a $150 donation on the Council on Aging from Julie and Tony Gomes.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept that donation. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
And myself, yes, it is so. I don't have any 48-hour business. Mr. Administrator, Town Administrator, Mr. Sullivan, do you have any, anything under your report?
I just want to thank everybody for a really good town meeting. 2 nights, that can be long for everybody, but there was a lot of hard work from the employees, the boards, the committees, and a lot of that was working together. So I greatly appreciate that, and I'd like to thank the residents that attended, especially those that stayed the whole time. That's a lot. And we know that probably the number one most precious commodity any of us have is their time. So I really appreciate them dedicating, spending their time on trying to make their town a better place. So just want to thank you all again.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Sullivan, for all the work that you've put in with these town meetings. God bless you, and I really don't ever want to be you.
Thank you. Mr. Sullivan, could you give us a brief update on the massive undertaking in Onset, which you visit every Tuesday?
Yeah, we were out there today, the loam's down. We're hoping to get the hydro seed going because it's the wind down there just brings in the weeds, all the weed seeds. So, and it's really good loam. So that's the weeds have started to take hold, but you can see there's literally thousands of plantings going in right now, including some of the trees. We did get a resident come by complaining about some tree plantings, about future view loss and such, but I don't think people understand. In order for us to do some of the work, the Conservation Commission, with the plan, they wanted plantings and they wanted some more trees. So I think we did a good job trying to not impact people as much as possible. We ordered the railing today for the front along Onset Ave. That we were trying to figure out the safest one, and it looks like we will have sort of those. Not the chain, but almost like the wire across. So it will be the least impactful to views and still allow safety in case a child falls around there, that they're not falling through onto Onset Ave. And, they finished up most of the what do you call it, the gazebo. So we're chugging along. We're still trying to get it done for Memorial Day, and they have been mulching away. We worked with Buzzards Bay Coalition on some of their sections, so it's really a lot going on. Spent some time down at Lopes too. Fantastic job for, the Chair Whiteside. I think that's been such a fantastic project, and I was there yesterday as well, and Marie Grieg was there. I think she's there 24/7. So really nice jobs going on.
Can you give us the rough total cost of Bayview?
No, it's it's a little. It was over. I think we're about 2.2, 2.3. We used all the different funding sources we could. Town meeting has provided us 200,000. We've started on the engineering. We'll also go to conservation for the entryway for the pier as well. So, but I think all of us have been involved. So, you're right. Maybe some people don't know, but I think we've been talking about the funding of this. This has been about 5 years now, trying to get this done from cradle to grave, if you will.
Thank you. It's a great project. I did walk it with Mr. Sullivan a week or so ago, and it's totally accessible. The view from the top is fabulous, and with all of the planting and stuff, it really is an amenity for the whole community. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Liaison initiative reports?
I don't have any.
No? Liaison initiative reports?
No, but I did have a question for Mr. Sullivan. I think you probably heard earlier tonight that I was at the second North Water Street meeting, and during that meeting there was a lot of mention by the consultants of the sort of parallel work that's going on North Water Street by the town, and they mentioned some stormwater outfalls and some work to the infrastructure beneath the street, but they were pretty vague. Could you give me, I know this is kind of out of the blue on you, so I'm sorry if you don't have everything at your fingertips, but could you give me an overview of the kind of work the town is doing on North Water Street?
No, I can't, because it's a chicken and an egg.
Oh, okay.
So
Tell me more.
We need to know what they're doing. We need to fix the drainage. We've already done the work. If you remember what was out there beforehand, we've pulled a bunch of that out. So we have easements going through there for the drainage. So anything they're doing, needs to coordinate with what we need to do. But we need their plans so we can figure out ours. And we had a consultant there yesterday as well. So
Okay.
so
Great.
we're just trying to keep up with it.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of moving parts. That was really clear last night. So thank you for what you could share. Thanks.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Chadwick, you decided you did?
Yes, last Thursday, there was a massive brush fire on the base. Fire services task force from all over Massachusetts were heading down. I just want to point out that I want to thank Upper Cape Tech because they offered their agricultural UTVs to the base to use them if they needed them, and also kept a staff member on just in case they needed to get through gates and be available for them to go through the gates or use any of their stuff that they have at Upper Cape Tech. So Mr. Forget and Upper Cape Tech, just wanted to thank you guys publicly.
Thank you. Yes, we sent Wareham and Onset.
Yep.
It was
Marion
a controlled
and
burn that got uncontrolled. They do,
150 acres.
and they do burn it every year, so it's not something that we don't expect, unfortunately. Mr. Sullivan touched briefly on Lopes Playground. June 14th is the opening day. June 14th is the first day of the Gateman season, and it's also Flag Day. But from, I think it's 11 to 1, we will have opening ceremonies. The Lopes will not be totally completed at that time because the perimeter path is taking a little bit longer than we thought, but it will be open, the playground. And I'm telling you, It is awesome. I've also walked through there, and it's just a great job. And I really want to thank Marie Grieg and the people that she works with, because without her, this would not be in the state that it is. So again, thank you very much, Marie. And I will accept motion on those minutes.
I move to approve meeting minutes, April 15th, 2025, a regular session.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve those minutes. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
Myself, yes, it is so. Any other business to come before us?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. It is not debatable. Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, yes. We are adjourned. It is 7:30. Thank you and good night, Wareham.
Good night, everyone.